I'd like to welcome Mavis Mullins back to the commentary team. Welcome, Mavis.
Kia ora.
It's great to have you here. You've been here, you've done that, and you know exactly what these young wool handlers will be feeling at the moment.
Yeah, I have to say, when you and Norm were talking about messy and chaotic, I was going, you guys don't know.
We know.
Okay, we got the green light. Can we have the shearers to the board?
A big thanks to our wool handling judges, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for our wool handling judges who have been here for 3 days working away as well. Well done.
And Gerald, you will do our countdown in between. Timekeepers ready. Shearers, get set, go. Mavis, down here on table number 1, Joel Henare.
19 Golden Shears, and we have hit the top tier. We are doing the shear expertise. This is Paddy Mason team from the mighty Wairarapa. They are some major sponsors, and Doug, $3,500 is the first prize package for the Open Wool Handling Champion.
Exactly, this is definitely the big one to win. Of course, on this night we had the other world qualifying match as well. Obviously the class here, you got the hot favourite. Joel was paying about $1.30 at the TAB when it opened earlier this week, and it'll probably even be hotter at this stage with some of the leading candidates down the track. He's had 14 finals this year and won 8 of them. He had 3 second placings, and you line that up against Chelsea, who's been reasonably consistent with 6 finals and a second place, a couple of thirds and three fourths. But Candy's had just 1 final for a third placing in the South Island wool handling circuit.
Thank you, Doug. Well, we're going to go back to the stadium there, and the tables are all set up. Look at everyone's a little bit different. The colour coordinated baskets are there. The fleece wool is really beautiful this year, and we're getting to follow Joel Henare with his first throw. He will be smarting a little bit. He missed out on that other final to go and to retain that title or defend his world title, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. The first throw goes out for Joel Henare. Oh, well, wow. It's flat and it's made to stack. There he is. He's just put that on there. Every time he throws the fleece, we talk about money. That's made to stack, and he's saving that. There he is. He's working around the top there. The discoloured pieces of wool, we call that the first pieces. That's got to find a home, the basket. Then he's at the top of the fleece there, and that's all this wool from around the sheep's neck and around its head. That's got to go in a different basket as well. So we're going to go back to the shearer, Joel Henare. How many fleeces are they doing, Doug? 6 long wool. 6 long wool is there. So look at the board where Joel Henare is working. He's made noises about retiring, Doug.
Indeed, he's said last night that was his last Trans-Tasman, and he said all along that he wants to spend more time family-wise. He's had 10 years at the top. He's only 27. Just imagine that, retiring at the age of 27.
Well, sometimes that day comes sooner than later for most people. So he's made the choice, family or work. So he's made the choice. What's most important? Family.
Whānau, indeed. And at the end of the day, there's not a lot of top sportsmen around the world that would be doing it for more than 10 years, regardless of what age they start doing it.
Yep, you've got to put it in the time, because what do you do with your young children, your mokopuna? You've got to teach them right at this very early age. So he's made the right call. He might come back when he's 40.
Oh, exactly. You can dedicate this time. You've got oodles of time, absolute oodles.
Yes, because some of these people are there. But this is the youngest field I've ever seen in the Golden Shears Open Wool Handling Final. I don't know how old Anna is, but she wouldn't be 20.
No, she would be 20. She was a fairly successful senior wool handler and come up, but hasn't done a lot of really competing at the top level since then, and I'm pretty sure she's never made a top 4 at all.
Never,
she certainly hasn't been at a final this season.
She's come from down there in Ekatahuna. So we're going back to Joel Henare, just working away at the top of the fleece. The wool values are not the greatest for this crossbred wool. We've seen the merino sheep sheared, Doug. They were the high price wool. This crossbred wool is struggling to make a good price for the farmers, but hey, it's still better than having no wool at all. Down around behind here, the shearer works in young Anna Braddock from Ekatahuna. There she goes. She's working away there. She's worked nicely. She's made the cut. So I don't know. There must have been 50-odd open wool handlers come through, and this is the final top 4.
Yeah, I think 51 off the top of my head. So it's again great entries in the wool handling as well as what we saw in the shearing. I've added up roughly 400 people competed at these shears, some of them in 2 or 3 different types of events, of course. But that's a great bouncing back from what we were expecting.
All right, young Chelsea Collier. Where's Chelsea from?
She's from Gore.
Gore.
Yeah, indeed. I think she may well have originally come from up north somewhere, but she's certainly been in Gore for a while.
I think they're an Oportiki family from over there. There she goes, she back to it. But we're going back to Joel Henare. This fleece on the table. This is number 3 coming up over the board. This is an event that's, it's $3,500, $2,500. What a magnificent prize. I think it was about 900, so it's doubled. So thank you very much for sheer expertise and the magnificent sponsorship. Candy Hiddy from Matoda in the South Island. I'm sure the Matoda people there will have their lights out and tuned into the Golden Shears for the 2019 event. This lady has done so well. She missed out on the cut on these other things, but she's made the big one, Doug.
Indeed. Yeah, she's in here chasing this big trophy. Sometimes this particular trophy is more important than the money to some people. The Henry Doe Mason Memorial Trophy. Henry Doe was on the boards way back in 1961 when the shears were first started.
She was the old matriarch, wasn't she? She was the one that ruled the iron roost for all these wool handlers. There she is. Anna goes back to the shearer. She picked up a wool. She let that fleece roll back. I wonder if she lost any points on that, Doug.
Yeah, being watchful.
It rolled back. We'll probably catch another glimpse of that in a little while because we've got some neat graphics going on here. The colour is everything. All right, there she goes, getting ready to roll up and throw on to the next fleece. Fleece number 4 for Anna Braddock. Goodness me, she's really on top of her game for such a young girl. And then if she's 20, I'd be very surprised. So what's she going to be like when she's 30 in this game?
Well, exactly. The whole family's got a whole credentials going there. We saw Sister Nio Hansen earlier in the day competing in the that World Selection semi-final. Seen brother Hemi shearing earlier in the day as well. Last night was it? Ruka as well shearing earlier.
How many of them are there?
I better ask Mum and Dad.
I think there's about 6 or 7 children and they're all competitive, aren't they? They're brought up in this shearing game and this is where we start to get competitive. Who wants to be the fastest shearer? Who wants to be the best wool handler? And here it is. But Joel Henare, we're looking at the boards. He's just outstanding.
Exactly. 10 on Joel's stand on table number 1. Candy's 44. Anna 38. And Chelsea 39.
So Joel Henare is just giving a masterful display. And that's the beauty of the footage that's coming across because I'm sure once they go home and they'll come back and they'll scrutinise this, they'll run it backwards and forwards and just analyse it. But Tuma Mullins, the commentator's down to the side there, he's mesmerised from this young Joel Henare because every time he makes a stroke with his hands and picks off a little bit of wool, it's the golden touch. Yeah. Here he is, he's getting ready for fleece number 5. It comes onto the table, on the table for Anna Braddock. Here he goes, Joel Henare. Let's stay with Joel Henare. A masterful display. No points there. Lost there, Doug.
Indeed. I mean, he's so relaxed. This reminds me very much of Gorey in 2014 where he failed to make the semi-final of the World Championship, defending the title that he'd won in 2012. And he went away, moped for a few minutes, came back and got straight in and cleaned them out totally in the All Nations Wool Handling later in the day.
So that's how good he is. He's wonderful. He's at the top of his game. Everybody will aspire to, and goodness knows how much he would have won in prize monies over the years because it'll be thousands if you add it all up. But up the neck, the shearer goes, and Candy Hitty, she's right there. So it's all about health and safety too, Doug. The wool handler can't get too close to the shearer because that machine is sharp. It's a blade, isn't it?
Exactly. What we're really seeing is the teamwork that goes on in the shed, and one of the fantastic things about this sport. Everybody's sort of relying on each other, and no one can really let go of the pressure.
No, we've got pressure all the way. So there's one more fleece to come out. There's 7, or is there 6?
Yeah, 6
long wool. So this is the last fleece on the table. Wool handlers, and make the most of it because Anna Braddock has already cleaned up. Chelsea Collier's already cleaned the table. She's running around there. Joel Hennard is ready to take the next fleece onto the stage. So stay with the wide shot cameraman and we'll just see how they all land on the table. Here she goes. Candy Hitty throws. Beautiful throw. Anna Braddock just a little bit too much wheat picks this morning. Anna Braddock. Oh, Joel Hennard has done a beautiful throw. Chelsea Collier could have done with a bit more wheat picks, or it only landed halfway up the table. So that's where the way it's landed. Joel Hennard, Doug, he's giving a masterful display.
Indeed, they'll be on to the second chair in a minute, and we'll see how it changes at that time.
There he goes. He's getting ready. They're starting to make some moves. 4 second shear sheep to come up. Candy Hitty's just turned the table on the side. Where's Joel Hennard? He's turning his table right around. That's the one to make the move. You've got to make a little bit of space for you, because when you're in a commercial situation in a shearing shed, we want to cut out. There's a half a dozen lambs. There's a dozen full wools. We can't mix the wools. So these are the skills that these really skilled wool handlers do. They make a little bit of room. They say, we want to get home early too. Don't stop. Don't bother. Keep going. So this is what it is. So the fleeces are back out on the board, Doug.
Yeah, here we've got all the 4 sheep on the board now. The second shear. You watch it. They can leave the fleece on the table to clear it up, but they've got to get as Kuro says, be able to separate the wool completely.
Anna Braddock looks like she's in a little bit of trouble. There's a little bit of wool there. Joel Hennard has got quite a clear floor. I think this Chelsea Collier might be starting to get back into second in command at the moment, because she's just got a little bit more room. Anna at the top of the table, there's not a lot of room, because if she pushes that table even a half a centimetre or so, that table's going to fall off the stage.
Exactly. What do they reckon is the best table to be on this? Kuro, you'd know for the
tables?
The best end, 1, 2, 3 or 4.
Oh, look, I'd be struggling. I would think you'd have to be on the sides. 1 or 4 would have to be you would have to have a little bit of luck to pull those. And Joel, and are you saying something, Doug, that maybe those end tables, there's a good advantage in them?
Yeah, I'm just watching a little bit of how Chelsea's going down there. Just does sort of look just a bit like she's got a little bit more room to move.
Well,
maybe.
It looks like it, but I don't think so, Doug. That might be just an optical illusion.
Plenty of those around.
The camera might be just throwing an optical illusion in there, because it looks like one of her baskets is sitting outside the designated area.
Yeah.
Is that what you picked? I've picked that up too, but I don't think so. Maybe we can zoom in at that basket at the top of table 4 and just see where that basket is sitting, because we've got the graphics to do it. But in the undermine they go. They've got how many? They've got 4 second shear sheep, and they're on to the second one. There she goes. There it is. It's not sitting outside the designated area. It's in the perfect spot, Doug. We've got the camera. The camera doesn't lie. Look at that. That's even a better shot. I actually thought it was in the out of bounds area.
Indeed.
No, she's all legal. This girl is legal. She's working fine. And I'm sure Joe Hopkirk, the referee, would have picked that up anyway if she was.
Indeed. Yep.
So we're going on to the last side of these sheep, and the shearers are turning now. Candy Hitty is right up there. She's right in the face of that shearer, and she's picking off the bits of wool around the eyes, a little bit of wool underneath the front foreleg. There's a little bit of discoloration. That's got to come out. It's got to find a little home somewhere else. Carfield's Primary Wool is the people that look after our wools. They're the ones that have got to look after this. So here he is. So one more fleece to come out, and it's the last fleece. Now you'll watch Joel Hennard. He's working into it, and he says, oh my God, where am I going to next, Doug?
You see by those points he's going straight to the top. Title number 7 coming up here, I think.
Well, he looked like that in those in the heats for the Worlds, and it went out the back, and it just changed dramatically.
Yeah. Indeed, I spoke to him after that, an hour or so after that this morning, and he'd thought about it, and he said that it was in some ways a relief to get that off the back, and I think he's gone into this just totally relaxed.
The monkey off the back.
Indeed.
Okay, this is the final sheep that we've got on the board, and the shearers are all shearing together beautifully. Chelsea Collier is actually starting to come back a bit there. Her and Candy and Anna Braddock were all similar, but she's creeped up. The judges are doing a good job, aren't they, Doug?
Yes, indeed. Anna Braddock's appearing to be making some ground here. To watch her for the next few minutes.
Yep, she's coming back at her, and she might be a second shear specialist. Ekatahuna shears a lot of second shear, so that's her home ground. Maybe she's got home ground advantage. Down the last side, the shearers are working in. Anna Braddock, hurry up, my girl. You're the youngest. You're the peppy in the field. She'll be working away. The family will be down there making some noise. Here she goes. Make some noise, your Braddock family. Here she goes. She tosses it back. There she goes, a little bit of a clean-up. Oh, there's one more to come out, Doug. Holy smoke, this is a marathon.
Indeed. I think it's the only 10 sheep final in the country, so you really see the class coming out here.
Has the new sponsor wanted a little bit more mahi out of these workers? Has he wanted a little bit more work? I've put up this one. I want to see you do a little bit more harder work for it. Surely this must be the last sheep on the board, because these wool handlers will be absolutely buggered, Doug.
Exactly. This is where she gets into the real action here. You'll see them giving the second shear all the real shake up at the end of it, and then the mad scramble to clear the floor as soon as they can.
Well, I only say that because, oh, well, there's lights out there. There's 2,500 people in the stadium making all the noises, so they'll be exhausted.
Exactly. It's been a long day. Don't forget these ones were on the board this morning, something like about 10 or 11 o'clock, I think, from memory. At the end of the day, the working day, usually it starts early, but she's over by 5.
Yep. No, we've been here a long time. That's a long time we've been here. Down the last side she goes. Here he is, that man. Down he goes, and it looks like this young Anna Braddock might have picked her back up now. Chelsea Collier, you said she was streaming ahead of her, but this Anna Braddock has done the business. Joel Henry works up there, right in there. He's so quick, Doug.
Exactly, absolute masterclass we've seen since he's been in this scene. Sort of 15, I think he won his first Open title.
Now they're going to the shakedown. The blending has got to go on, and I haven't seen Chelsea Collier go into the blend. This young girl here on table number 3, Anna Braddock, is really shaking. Get in there. The blending's going on. Now she's picked up the broom to do the final touches. Joel Hennard is not... Oh, he's put his broom up. Has he cleaned up well enough? Don't touch the wool, Joel. Now the scrutinizers go in and they work it out. But he's got his broom up. Let's see how he goes. He's stuffed. He's absolutely worked his guts out. He's had everything put out there. He's left nothing in the tank. He's emptied the fuel tank. There they are. They're all going back. But wasn't that a mammoth event?
Oh, exactly. We've got a bit to wait for with the results here, but he did right. Joel's looking pretty headed for the day. Got a bit of
let's go back
around the floor,
and let's go back to the first fleece. Look at the style of this guy, the technique. He squeezes that. His 2 little fingers are holding the ends of the fleece, and he puts it on the table just like that. That's poetry in motion. That's absolute superb wool handling throwing. And I would suspect that, he lost 2 points. Well, they all lost. No. These others haven't even put anything on the table. They've already lost 2. But his man is just another zone. He's in the twilight zone, Doug.
Exactly.
Look at that.
So who's your pick for second there, Kuro?
I'm actually going to go for... I really think that this Chelsea Collier deserves to come into second place. This guy clearly, from where we're sitting, has clearly won this. But stranger things have happened. And I think that this young lady, Chelsea Collier, every time she went back, she always just moved fast. And there's no room for dawdlers. You cannot dawdle. You have to go right at it. And this young lady, this will be a dream. And Mavis touched on it. She said, this is where fields of dreams are made. The Golden Shears is a beautiful ribbon to earn.
Indeed, Chelsea's obviously had her eye on things for a while, knowing that she could get into that world qualifying series that we had earlier in the day. And she did come up to North Island. She did pretty well at Taihape back at the end of January, and was 4th at Apathy last weekend. So she obviously spent a little bit of time up here getting ready.
Yes, she has. And Joel Henare, every throw was just magnificent, and he is just a worthy winner. And I'm going to be quite sad to not see him come along. Maybe we should all retire.
he might be doing your job.
He can do that. He's pretty good at it too. He can do anything, this guy. He can wool handle, he can commentate, and he's done very well. Well, we're going to come to the end. We're going to cross to a little bit of kiss cam and whatever. But I do understand that young Anna Braddock, I think that Missy Tutavaha was her uncle or was her koro or something. So I'm sure that if we're wrong, it doesn't matter, because we'd like to acknowledge that Missy has died. He's passed away, and he had his funeral. So ka haere koe e te rangatira, Missy. Haere atura. All right, and we're going back to the wool handling, and look at Joel Henare. Isn't that just amazing how he can do? I wonder if he's left-handed, because a lot of wool handlers can only skirt with one hand. He can skirt with both hands.
Yeah.
You watch. Some wool handlers will skirt up one side, then they have to run around the other side and skirt to the other side. Whereas Joel, he'll go up one side, skirt, and then he comes down the other side. So that's an edge that he has. Maybe we've just given away his secret.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure he isn't left-handed, actually, but...
You just watch. You just pick up those little anomalies. They're there, and he's got it. And Master Wool Handler Supreme. And now we'll just go back to the studio. Toby, Wairarapa TV and Noise.